Rhubarb sauce, or the other name it goes by is Victoria's sauce, has been around for a really long time, and it's actually very similar to a barbecue sauce. It's not sweet, well, it's a little bit sweet, but it's also got that savory component to it, and it's just perfect for eating on meat. I just need to dice up 4 pounds worth of rhubarb, which doesn't seem like much, but when you're taking it off the plant, you realize just how many stalks that is. I begin by washing off my rhubarb and then I dice them. The way I like to do that is just by cutting down strips, especially big ones like this one. So I just cut down from the edge to the other edge, and then I cut across them. Because I want it to be pretty small pieces. I don't want any of those fibrous strings there. And I want it to break down nicely for this sauce. For the skinnier ones, I'll just slice those ones in half. It makes it go a little bit faster if I line up a bunch of the small ones and then I just cut them at the same time. And then I'll chop up 1.5 cups of raisins. Mine are really large because there's some that I made here at home. So now I have my 4 pounds of diced rhubarb. I have my 1.5 cups of chopped raisins. I'll add 3.5 cups of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of diced onion, 1/2 cup of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ginger, and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'll then place this on the stove and simmer it until it's thick. Now that my sauce is nice and thick, I'll add it to my pint-sized jars up to 1/2 inch of headspace. Headspace is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jars. I'm actually using Superb jars and lids today. I was actually really surprised. When I got these out of the box, I kind of thought, oh, it's just gonna be like a basic jar. But when I actually saw them, they were so much thicker. They totally remind me of the antique jars that I love using because they're so thick, but hate using because I don't want to end up breaking one. So I've been really pleased with these ones. And this sauce just smells amazing. Now I'll use a clean, damp cloth to wipe off the rim of my jars so that if any of the sauce got on the edge, it won't interfere with the seal. And then I'll place my lids and rings on until they're fingertip tight. And these lids, the reason that I like them so much is they have a really deep, squishy seal to them, which I just feel like does a better job of sealing for a longer period of time. And then, they're American made, and then they have this lovely coating on them that makes it so that they're more resistant to rust, which I really like because I store them in my root cellar. So I actually have a link to them below with a 20% off coupon, so that helps a little bit. Now I'll place these in my boiling water bath and process them for 15 minutes if at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll go for 20. When processing the jars, I won't start the timer until after it starts to boil. Now that the processing time is done, I'll turn off the heat and take off the lid and let it cool for 5 minutes. I then remove my jars from the canner and place them about 1 to 2 inches apart on a heat-resistant surface. I'll then let them rest there for 24 hours so that they can get a good seal. I can tell that they have a good seal if the center of the lid has depressed down. If it did, then I place it in a cool, dry, dark location like my pantry for the next 1 to 3 years. If for some reason it didn't seal, I would place it in the refrigerator and use it right away. All right, so the taste tester, it really does just like look and smell like some kind of sour barbecue sauce. And you just really get the feel that this would taste good on anything that was on the grill.